Hello and a very good afternoon. Welcome back to Crafters TV. Good morning if you're joining us for the first time. My name's Ben Mosby. I feel a bit weird because I kind of want to say that I've never done this show before. I don't ever remember doing a Second Chance Sunday, but I must have been there on a Sunday. I must have been. Can somebody look back through the shows on YouTube and tell me whether or not I've been on them or not? Have a quick look through. You know, get through on the old the tablet. Get Craig in. He's got a quick wrist. He can quickly flick through and have a look. See if I just feels really weird to be here on a Sunday, but I'm looking forward to it because Second Chance Sunday is pretty much exactly what the title suggests. We bring you some of the best deals, some of your favourite deals from the week that was. And call blimey, I mean, with the 3 days that I've just been in, we have had some fantastic deals. What I will tell you is we have had sellouts already of items that were supposed to be on this show. So if you have seen a particular show this week and an item that you saw features on Second Chance Sunday, chances are it will, make sure you get in nice and early because we are very, very busy. People doing lots of pre-Christmas shopping, lots of people getting last-minute shopping bits for Christmas and stocking up on all your kind of crafty accessories as well. Of course, a 2-hour extravaganza with just little old me would be like watching paint dry, wouldn't it? So thankfully, we have got back again the lovely Jan. How are you? Did we do all right earlier on?
Honestly, it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed that earlier, and now we're all set up ready to start again. You know, it's like I've got everything lined up ready, loads of demos. Gutted that we can't bring some of them to you, but you're obviously loving the product if they're bought. So I put a couple of demos back in the bag and we've had to rethink, but we're all good to go. So yeah, loads lined up for you again this afternoon. So welcome back if you're watching us.
Absolutely, as you can see, we're all festive. Lots of comments in the last show about the Christmas jumpers. Jan's got a festive jumper on. I got my festive jumper on. We want some more festive pictures, please. Apparently, we didn't get many festive pictures during the last show. So please send in your pictures. As we've mentioned during the last show, Charlotte is one of our newest directors. She loves getting all the pictures in. So send them in. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Anything that you've got of you in your Christmas jumpers, all right, crafting your Christmas jumpers. We want to see your Christmas we're just being nosy, basically. We want to see your Christmas decorations. Send in pictures of your trees, your baubles, your Christmas decorations. And also, in the last show, I think it was Kim who sent in a picture of the snow from Wisconsin. If you are somewhere in the world currently that has a lot of snow, we would love to see it because here where we are in the north of England, it's miserable.
It's just wet.
It is just
wet.
It's wet. Cats and dogs. It's just it's horrible. And it's cold as well. It's cold.
That's debatable, isn't it, compared to what was it, -8 degrees?
Yeah.
That actually makes us sound quite warm, doesn't it?
Yeah, but for a southern softie like me to come up here when it's like,
a bit chilly,
3 degrees, you guys have got your shorts and t-shirts on.
You can feel it as you're driving up the motorway, can't you?
Yeah, as you're driving up.
Turning the heater up in the car.
The windows on your car are gradually like freezing over as you're driving up the M1. Yeah, that's true. It's that cold up here. But anyway, send in those pictures. And as always, get in touch with us on Facebook and YouTube. If there's anything that you want to see particularly, if there's anything that you want to ask, if there's anything that you want to share with us as well, we would love to hear from you on the socials. We had loads of lovely comments during the last show, so make sure you get those in. Right, so much to show you. So what we're going to do is have a look at a few of the items and we're going to go back and forth, loads of demos that Jan's going to show you as well. Something which was back on this week, which I think I've only presented once, is the Ultimate Organizer Complete Collection. This is brilliant. Straight off the bat, you're getting a great deal. Only £73 or $92. Big saving today of over £21, $27. And it is fantastic for the fact that you have got the complete kit here to allow you to put together an organizer, whether it be for you because you're putting together like a diary potentially for the next year, whether you've got something like a wedding coming up and you want to be able to have like little reminders in there, whether or not you're going traveling and you want to keep all of your bits and pieces together. Maybe you've come back from traveling, you're thinking you're going traveling, you want to be able to create some sort of memento. This kit is absolutely brilliant for that. You're basically going to get, I'll show you here, you've got your worker die, which is going to allow you to put the actual organizer together. And then within that, you've got the ability to completely personalise it as to how you want it to be. So the stamp sets that you're going to get with it include things like the one we're seeing here. So if you're wanting to kind of, make a calendar out of it, you've got the ability to do that. You've got all of your months of the year, your days, you've got your seasons. It goes up to 2022 there as well. You've got your list there of your calendar. I also love the fact that you've got the little calendar dotted out like this. Remember, we used to do those at Sunday school when you used to draw a picture and then stick the little calendar underneath. But you've got all of that. Then another one of the sets gives you your days of the week, your months of the year. You've then got things like little lists that you can check off. So if you want to make a little checklist for something, you've got the ability to do that as well. Things like, I don't know, back to school lists potentially. There's so many different things that you can do with this. You're also going to receive with this your little memo set as well. That comes with it, and another stamp set as well, which allows you just to completely personalise. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. If, for example, look at this, these are so beautiful. You've got the work your die set, as I say, to be able to put together the actual organizer itself, and then you can completely personalize it to how you want to do it. You've got these little dies here, which allow you to put in little paper pads if you want to. You've also got dies which allow you to make your little pockets if you want to be able to do that. I love the papers here, by the way. We haven't got these on the show, unfortunately. But then again, look, little corner dies. So again, for a little shopping list, you can pop in more little pockets so you can set little reminders for yourself. It's really, really cute. If you want to get organised potentially for birthdays, again, just another little idea. There's so many things that you can do with this. Birthday lists, so party lists, you can pop in little cutouts in there as well to put all of your ideas in, things that you need to buy, make another list. And again, as I showed you there, you've got the month there where you can label off things that you need to do. So great for getting organised. But again, let's have a look at this one, like a save the date. How nice to be able to send these out with all the information for a wedding potentially, where you can put in, the date, you can put in directions and all these kind of things. There's just so many different things that you can do. And you also get, as I say, all of the workings to be able to put together the little compartments, if you like. And the other thing to say about this is, I think a lot of people were asking last time that this was on, you've got the ability to use all of this together if you want to, but that's not to say, again, that you don't just use individual pieces of this. You don't always have to make a complete organizer every single time that you get this out. You can use just certain elements of it. And remember, 132 elements in total. You can completely personalize it for whatever you want it to be. And it's such a versatile die set, once again. £73 or $92 today, less your 20% if you are a platinum member, brings that down to a very, very manageable price for you. And what I like about this as well is this the first time that you've actually demonstrated this, Jan?
Yes, it is. Yes, this was this was new to me when it came. Yeah. So and I mean, I said to you earlier, I keep a diary. I am a list maker. So this has got my name written all over it. It really had. And I just think any of you out there that like to keep a record of things, whether it be the money aspect, whether it be birthday lists, I have lists for everything.
Do you?
Yeah, I have lists on my list. It's like literally, you add things. I add more to the bottom than I cross off the top. But even when I'm prepping for here, I have a list of what I've got to do. Tick it off as I do it, what order I want to present it in, so everything. I much prefer writing stuff down than I do using. I'm not very good with social media. My girls keep trying to teach me, and it's like, oh, for goodness sake, Mum, but it just doesn't go in, and I much prefer to write it down. So something like this, to be able to tailor it to your specific needs.
Yeah.
And honestly, there is so much in the collection, and not just like Ben just said, not necessarily. I'm going to show you how to put the organizer together, which is your main concept suite for the dies, but the actual stamps in there would be terrific if you're a scrapbooker, sort of all sorts of different things on there to do. So we'll get onto a demo in a little while. I think Ben's got a little bit more to share with us first.
I certainly have. I must say a few hellos before we get on to doing that. Monica's in from Detroit. Deborah from snowy Iowa. Deborah, send pictures, please. We want to see pictures of snow. Roberta from Cromwell, Connecticut. Why did I sing that then? Want to see pictures of snow. Leslie from San Diego. Karen from Newfoundland, Canada. and loads of others saying ho ho, saying ho ho ho, saying hello. There is someone saying ho ho ho, but not loads of you saying ho ho ho. Lynn on Facebook says, good afternoon again, Ben, Jan, and the CTV team and everyone. And Fran says, Ben, ho ho ho, love the jumper. Just one person saying ho ho ho. We'll say a few more hellos in just a bit. Plenty more to show you though on the show. In fact, let's show you with some pictures. I love these. Take a look at these. These are the twirling stamps. Had these I think once previously, but if you're a big kid at heart like me, you're going to have a lot of fun with these. The Twirling Stamp and Die Collection. 104 elements here, and basically what you've got, the concept here is that you've got these great little characters that you can pop into the aperture in your card, bit of your like invisible wire or cotton thread, whatever it might be, and you can make them twirl around in the centre of the card. It's really, really cute, and you've got things like your dog there, unicorns, there's a cat, there's one in there, like a cat looking into a little fish bowl as well, which is so cute. Really lovely collection for $47.98 or $59.70, saving over £15, almost $20 today, less your 20%. That comes down to a very manageable price. Also on the show, if you're into your colouring, we have got the Hint of Classics. Now again, these launched fairly recently, I want to say, and these are kind of slightly lighter, aren't they? If you've got the full classic range, these are kind of like the in-between colours, if you like. Once again, you've got your double-ended pens, so dual-tipped, but you've got the 36-piece collection here. As I say, we'll go into more detail about that a little bit later on, but £54 or $80, saving 10% today. Next up, we have got your alphabets. Been quite popular recently, the old alphabets, but we've got the left fold alphabet collection with 93 elements included here. Comes with your numbers as well, and basically gives you the ability to, personalise your projects absolutely completely, whether it is, you know, for your cards, whether it is for home decor pieces, whatever it might be. And it's got this really cool idea of having that left fold design, which allows almost to give you a bit of a shadow effect, if you like, with them. As I say, something which we'll explore a little bit more during the show. £59 or $70 today, saving over £15, almost $30. Also something which has been very popular indeed is this next collection, which is the Nature's Garden Peacock collection. Again, becoming a bit of a firm favourite, I think, with our Crafters TV viewers. 48 individual elements here. It brings you things like your dies, you've got embossing folders, stamps in this set as well. It's absolutely majestic. You can see the peacock die there that you've got in the top of the screen. It's a really wonderful collection for £63 or $85 today. You can take that home. Next up are the swash stamps. Again, we've got these in the studio, which we'll have a look at later on. 53 elements included here, and you get your ink as well for $19.96 or $27.80. That's over a 20% saving for those. And if you love your embossing, these 3D embossing folders are absolutely gorgeous. Again, been firm favourites over the last few weeks, not just the week that we've just had. But if you want to grab those today, £32 or $46, once again saving 20%, plus a further 20% if you're a platinum member. And if you joined us yesterday, myself and Craig were joined by Sharon Callis on Craft House, and this is the latest range from Sharon herself. Proved really popular yesterday, the Vintage Lace Frames collection. Really, really gorgeous. So much detail in these as well. And if you were watching the show yesterday, some Easter eggs hidden. I mean, not literal Easter eggs, but little, like we basically did the whole show on these, and right at the end, Sharon was like, did you know that within these dies, there's this, this and this? And I'll tell you what it is a little bit later on, but they're really, really cool and proved very, very popular yesterday. So that is a bit of an overview as to everything that we've got on the show. So fill up your baskets, don't miss out. And if there's anything in particular that you do want to see in more detail, you can let us know in the comments section on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll be delighted to show you, because that's what we're here for after all. Right, we're going back to where we started about 10 minutes ago with this Ultimate Organiser collection. And I think, are we going to go right back to basics and see how to actually construct the organiser itself? Yes,
I think that's a good place to start with it, because there is so much in this collection. It really is a mix and match sort of bag of goodies almost, and it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes when there's such a lot of things. So yeah. I think to break it down into the sections, look at the organiser itself, and then I've got some bits pre-prepared that I can show you where I've got them from, from, how I've come about, and where they fit into the organiser. So what I wanted to do first was just talk about the metalwork in this collection. So if I move this out of the way, you can see, just look how much there is on there.
That's a lot of metal.
You know, a huge amount. It's no space is left sort of without anything attached to it. And it's like, you know, okay, there's a lot of metalwork there, Jan, but what do we do with it? Now, included in your pack, you get full written and pictorial instructions on how to make the actual organiser itself. So it's all, and we're going to follow this so that you can see each part, where I'm going to get the dies from, how it goes together, and all the way across until you get, you know, the folded wallet at the end. So we'll talk through some of it, but the actual wallet I wanted to put together for you. So in your set of dies then, we're not going to worry about anything else at the minute other than the initial concept die, which is what cuts out the pieces to make the wallet. And when we release that from the actual set of dies, you can see that we've just got that one piece there.
Okay.
So for now, I'm going to pop all the others to one side, and I'll talk about those in a while as to what each bit is for. But this is the one that we need, and it just fits inside your A4 piece of cardstock. So just turn that over so the cutting edge is face down. I've actually swapped my Gemini Junior out for the large Gemini because you will need a larger platform for this particular set of dies. It just fits nicely on the A4 sheet. So again, just because we don't want it to wriggle about in there, I'm just going to pop some tape. Just take a little bit of the tack off there, and I'm just going to attach it so that it doesn't move, because it is just about an edge to edge on there.
What cardstock are you using here?
This is actually our smooth stamping card, which I just think is, you know, we call it stamping card, but it's not just for stamping. It's a 300 GSM weight cardstock that is really good for construction. I like making my boxes out of this. If I'm making boxes, it's strong enough to use for card blanks, certainly to making the wallet. But it could just as easily be your craft card, your matte black card. It could be some of the pearl cardstock. As long as it's a decent weight and that you can score and fold it nicely, you're sorted. So thin metal die again, we're just going to put our usual selection of plates if you're using a Gemini. If you've got other machines out there, it will need to be an A4 platform for this one to work. So all the other elements, the majority of them will go through the smaller platforms, but for the actual concept die, we need that larger plate. And we're actually going to cut this piece 4 times. So coming back to my instructions, it says quite clearly here that we need to cut it and cut it 4 times. So we need 4 pieces that are exactly the same to start out with. So I've done a little bit of it in advance, because the last thing you wanted was to stand there and watch me put that one die through the machine 4 times.
That's what I was looking forward to.
Oh, sorry there. All right, so we'll get rid of those pieces and leave that one across there. And then when we take this one off, as I say, with the tape, once we've lifted it, because there's pressure in there, I tend to just roll it back that little bit. Let me just get it started, and then just roll it rather than tear it off. And I find that way that it's less damaging if you do happen to have any
What did you say earlier on? Not like when you take the old plaster off?
Yeah, no ripping the plasters off there. So I'm going to pop that one back on the casing because I've done the other panels for you. All right, so we end up cutting this 4 times. And what it's done, if we can see, we can just see that there, can't we? We've got a score line here, and we've got a score line here, and we've got that lovely rounded edge to form the tabs on the side. Okay, so I'm not going to do any folding just yet. I'm going to bring my instructions in, and it says for 2 pieces, so 2 pieces of these, we started out with 4, remember?
Yeah.
It asks us to cut 2 of them in half. So don't worry about the tabs on the side. The fold line down the centre, pop it in your guillotine, and you're actually going to cut it so that you keep the side with the tab on. We've got white card there, which is not showing up very well. So I've just got the side with the tab on, and I've cut away this tight side that's got the square corners on. Keep those pieces, they'll come in handy for matting and layering. And it tells you to do that with 2 of the pieces.
Okay. So
this is what we've got here. So what we've got left now is 2 full pieces intact, and then 2 that have had that right hand panel cut off. or depending on which way around you've got it, the left-hand panel cut
yeah.
off, but keep the tab. And then in the next part of the instructions, it tells me here to actually get the tabs facing each other. So we need to turn that one round and have the tabs facing each other. And what we're going to do, I'm actually just going to crease these score lines so that we can see them a little bit better. And we're going to stick one tab over the top of the other, like so.
Okay.
And you can see that's making a spine now. Clever. On your card. When we've got this stuck together, we can see there that we've got like that little spine in there. So let's just do that first. So I'm going to use for speed. In fact, it'll be even quicker to use my tape runner.
What's the best thing to use if we're doing this at home in normal time?
I'm a big lover of wet glue, Ben, and your collal dries so firm that it gives projects like this some support. Yeah. So at home, I would probably use the collal. But again, the tape runners, the red line tape, anything that you know is sturdy, because this is going to be opened and closed and used and bits put inside, you don't want it to fall apart. So I've got one piece with the tab facing me. This is the one I've put the adhesive, and I'm literally just going to overlap them, line them up, and stick one tab on the top of the other. Okay. She says. Yep. So line up the edge of there and literally stick that one down, and then give it a good rub. Sometimes I actually use my bone folder just to get any air bubbles out of your tape and make sure you've got good adhesion on there. So what we've done is almost create like the beginnings of a little booklet with that piece. So that's my step one here. All right, and then step two, it says use the two remaining die cut panels and glue the tabs to the rest of it. So I have my back and front. I've got the inside bit facing up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in, again, I'm just going to fold that tab so that we can see where it is. We're going to bring tab and stick this bit onto the top of the tab. So you can see there where I've got that sort of, it's like 1/2 inch, just there where we've got the tab. Yep. I'm going to stick this bit onto it. So again, I'm going to use that tape runner inside that tab there. And then we're going to line up just this side of the score line. You don't want to stick it over the top of the score line because that's the bit where it's actually going to bend and fold over. So just take your eye along there and pop it. I can just see the score line. And again, I'm just going to take my bone folder and give it a good burnish on both sides to make sure it's stuck down. And then the last piece, I'm going to just move these over to the right. So this is the bit with the spine here. Yep. I've stuck one tab down, and then I'm going to move it along. We're going to bring that last piece in, and I'm going to do exactly the same again. So I've got that tab piece here, and we're literally going to stick this straight edge onto the tab. So exactly what I've just done with the last piece. So nice line of tape down there to keep it secure. And again, just line it up with the edge of that score line, and just leave a little bit of the score line peeking out so that you can fold it. And then a good burnish down. So we've now got a long line of pieces of cardstock stuck together, and this is the basis of the actual folder itself. All right, so we've done step two. When we get to step three, attach the remaining piece, we've done that one. Step four now, we're actually going to start folding. So from this end here, I'm literally going to bring this one up and make a mounting fold out of it. All right. And
that's already pre-creased.
It's all scored. Yeah, the die does all the scoring. So you can see there we've come up and we've made a mounting fold on this end. The next one automatically where we stuck it together becomes a valley. Yeah. And then again, we're going to go mounting again. So down that score line, a mounting. So we're creating that W. The next one's already in a valley. And then if I turn this forwards now, you've got that spine that comes over the top. And you've got that lovely little wallet. Oh, all right.
God blimey, you've set Johnny off now.
He's singing in my ear now,
He's singing River Deep Mountain Eye because valleys and mountains. That wasn't pleasant.
Valleys and mountains.
That wasn't pleasant, Johnny. He's dancing as well, apparently. And goodness me.
So yeah. So just to check that again, we've got it this way up. We've got the spine at this end. Yeah. So first one, push up to make your mountain. Yeah. The second one automatically wants to make the valley where we stuck it together. Yeah. Next one, mountain, valley, and then the spine over the top becomes the flap on the front of your organizer. So you end up with, whoops. opening up.
Yeah.
We've got the compartments in here.
Yeah.
We've also got it opening this way as well.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
So that's obviously what the instructions tell you to do. Could you, if you wanted to make it bigger, add more, or would you need to increase the size of the spine? You'd
probably get away with another one on the spine that it is here. But bearing in mind you're going to put things into here.
Right, yes.
It's going to sort of widen it a little bit when you get your lists and receipts and things, or tickets or whatever you're saving. So just be mindful that you've got about a 1/2 inch spine.
Okay.
If you wanted to extend it, I suppose you could add extra cardstock into the spine to make it wider.
Yeah.
So where you've cut the two and you've got the tabs, I would maybe just, if you wanted like an inch piece in it and an extra pocket or two, you would just cut that concept die again and literally carry on sticking them onto the end until you've got what you wanted.
Got you.
So I'm going to bring it facing me now, and I've got my flap at the front there, and it tells us now in step 5 to make the little purse sides that are going to be the concertina bits in the side of the wallet. All right, so bring the metal work back in, and you've got this piece here, which is just a rectangle with the score lines in. So it's going to cut round the outside, and then the inside ones are score lines, and that cuts out a piece that looks just like that. All right, and it's already put me the score lines in there. So what we need to do with that one is concertina that like an accordion fold. So I'm going to use a little bit of red line tape on here just so that I can get a good stick on it, and I'm going to put tape on the 2 outside pieces, and I've done the others ready, so again you don't have to watch it on each piece because it's exactly the same. We need 4 of these, 2 for each wallet, 1 for each side of 2 wallets, so 4 pieces all together. So we're going to use that die and cut 4 pieces, and then again I'm going to take the outside one as a mounting. So you can see there we've created that little mounting fold, and I'm going to turn it round and do the other one as a mounting. So we've got both outside pieces, and then the middle one I'm going to push in to make that accordion. So we've ended up with a piece that's almost made like a little W.
Yes.
You see that there?
Absolutely.
Yep. So we've done that 4 times, and I've got these ready for you. All right. I don't know what's going off in there. They're having a right old laugh.
Well, he's still laughing because Charlotte's now got River Deep Mountain Eye as an earworm. I've got it. All I can hear, 3 voices now. I can hear you, I can hear Johnny, and I can hear Tina Turner going off. I mean,
busy.
River Deep Mountain
just
Eye.
make sure that these are well burnished because these are going to be the worker parts for the side of the wallet. So just pop that on and make sure they're all burnished nicely. And by burnishing, I just mean using my score tool just to give a really nice good crease, and that's why you need a decent cardstock. We've got a lot of folding, so you don't want something that's going to crack open. If you look at these, they're all folded beautifully. So we'll start with the first one. So if you have it facing you with the flap open, we're going to create pockets inside these 2 pieces. So I want in here, and then I want again in the back to create myself 1 pocket and 2 pockets at the front. So we'll start on the first one. I'm just going to open that first mounting fold. So this is the piece that was the last bit we stuck on. Open it towards me, and then we're going to take the tape off. Now again, depending on which way around you stick these, depends how much room you get in your pocket. So for example, what I mean is if you stick the mounting folds facing inwards, you're going to get 1 slot in the middle.
Got you.
Because this bit's going to be stuck and this bit's going to be stuck. If you do it the other way with the W this way, you're going to get a pocket here and a pocket here.
Yes, got you.
So optional. Yeah, I like it this way. And all I'm going to do is line up that edge with the edge of and they're not quite as deep because you don't want too much bulk in the bottom of the pocket. So I'm going to take it about 1 millimetre from the top and stick it down and leave that side as it is. Quick burnish there, and then we're going to take a second one and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So take that liner off there, and then again I want that side facing in, and we're going to line it up about 1 millimetre from the top of my pocket, line it up with the edge, stick it down, give it a burnish just to seal that tape. All right, and then when we fold them in now, if I just turn this back on itself, because we've used the die, that one's going to stick to the other side. Give it a burnish. You can always get in there with your bone folder if you want to give it a good push down. And you can see now that we've actually created that little pocket. So can you see what I mean about having space for one bit in the back and one bit in the front there? If I'd gone the other way, I've just got the central piece. So again, choices as to how you want to do it. So I'm just going to repeat that quickly so that we've got the second pocket.
Do you know what? And this is praising you again, I think, for your how sort of methodical you are with your demos. Because you know me, I like to kind of watch, but I'm not so much an expert crafter at all. I still feel like a real novice, but I as a non sort of crafter, I'm really following this, and it's nice to see it broken. It's nice to take a little bit longer, isn't it, and just break it down and show you. It's not the most, you know, colourful demo in the world that you'll see and that you'll see Jan do, but actually if you've got this already, I think a lot of people have got this and then are left scratching their heads going, oh, I don't know how to put it all together. This is absolutely brilliant because you're seeing methodically, piece by piece, how it all works. And now breaking it down, I think it's becoming perhaps a lot less challenging for people as well.
It is, because when you know, it's an investment when you're buying something like this. The last thing you want is it just sat in a drawer not working for you, because once you've done this once and realised how it goes together, it is actually quite straightforward. You might think, oh, there's a lot of faffing about going on there, but once you've done it and realised how it actually comes together, honestly, it's easy to do. So again, I'm just going to hold those flat and again fold it together. Everything's lined up because it's been die cut. Just give it a really good burnish so that those are folded down flat, and that's created our second pocket. So when I lift it up now, you can see that we've got one in the back there and we've got one here, and then this is why we now needed that inch spine, because you can see there that they all fit nicely, and when you've got things tucked inside there as well, it gives you that space just to let those work.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the basis of the actual organiser. You know, that wasn't so scary.
Easy peasy,
and
I would say.
Don't forget, you've got all this, you know, we've done the purse sides, we've stuck them in, we've created our pockets, and then there's a little bit of extra info which I'll go through with you about what you can do with the accessories. So that was, as you know, sort of, it's not, I wouldn't say it's difficult.
No.
You know, literally, like you said, take it in stages, Ben, just work through it. Then you've got the basis of your wallet at the ready. So in your die set then you get lots and lots of extras. So I'm just going to talk you through a lot of these. Okay. So these first two are simply mats and layers. So you've got an outside one and a slightly smaller one, and they're going to create you sort of a mat and layer which we can then use on the front of the pockets, on the flap. It's the same size that will fit on your pockets. And don't forget, not just the pockets, when we open it this way, we've got room on the back like a book. So these all fit the same size, and I've literally used the outside die to do a pink layer, and I've used the smaller one to use some pattern paper. So that's those two. Put all these away in a second. So we're actually going to pop this on the front just quickly, just to show you how it comes together.
Okay.
The decoration that I've got on there, that strip that I've got on there, is also in the set. So I'm just going to have that front flap and literally pop that one on there like so. And
again, decorate it how you want to. Choose your colours.
Do you know, this is open to, and they look so different done in different colours.
Absolutely.
So, excuse me. Oh, I think I swallowed something then.
Oh,
there we go.
Do you need a glass of water?
I think I swallowed a fly.
Oh dear.
I'm okay, I'm good, yep.
Okay.
So this one, you can see I've just split it in the middle to make it stretch from one end to the other, because I'm going to cover this with something, but this is a little decorative panel die. So you can use it as decoration. If you put it in the centre, it could be a belly band for you to actually slot pieces underneath.
Yeah.
You could turn it this way so that you could have one of the pads stuck in there that I'm going to show you. Lots of different ways to use it. Don't be afraid to cut into it. And also that lovely sort of detail through the middle of there would look great with either a very thin ribbon or twine or something woven through it as well. So lots of different opportunities for that one. And then I'm going to come to these two, are fairly self-explanatory. We've got two little nesting dies here, and again I've just cut those out, and you can see how we've made our label for the front there. Stamps come from the stamp set, which I'll flick through really quickly with you when we get to the end of this bit. And then there's 2 more bits on this main die that I just want to talk to you about. We'll not necessarily go through them, but I'm just going to pop that on the front there, just to give us our opening part. Okay, now the one thing I didn't do, because I haven't brought anything with me, if you wanted this to close, before you stuck this matten layer on, I would have trapped some ribbon underneath here.
Yeah.
So stick it underneath before you put your matten layer on, and then you'll be able to do the same at the back. You've got a ribbon closure then if you want to. Alternatively, you could use Velcro dots on the inside if you like to work with magnets.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of different closure ways again. I like the magnets because you get that click when
it's quite satisfying,
It's quite satisfying, yeah. I use those a lot when I'm making mini albums and things like that. So the other 2 pieces I wanted to talk to you about was this one. All right, so when we cut this out, we actually get this piece here. So you can see there where let me move that one out of the way. You can see where I've die cut this just in the white card again, and it cuts out the little decorative edge which matches the other piece, and you also get the tabs on it here to fold in, and that actually makes a little pocket. Okay,
fantastic.
So all I would do with that is pop a little tiny bit of adhesive on here, and just a top tip for these, I always fold the bottom bit over the sides, and the reason I do that is so that when you actually pop anything inside it, you can go straight down the sides, whereas if this bit's on the inside, you often hit that with whatever you're slotting in there. So just by popping it over the top, those sides are open for something to go all the way down to the bottom. And then again, I've done a different piece of card. I'm not going to stick all these in, I'll just lay them out now so that you can see. So for example, we could start on this inside panel now, and you can see I've made one there. All I would do is be putting glue on the 3 sides of the tabs and popping that one on here, so you've got little pockets. It could be that you want to work on the inside of here, and you might want to have a little pocket this way to slot something in, or vice. There are so many. Might go in the centre. You know, the actual decoration side of it is the bit that you can just go to town on. As long as you've got that confidence to get that organiser going, it's really, really good to play with. And I'll come to the stamp sets in a minute. There's one more piece on here that I want to talk to you about. I'll just stick that one back down. And the other piece on the main set is this one, and it comes as one die. Okay, but it's actually 4 separate pieces, and what that does is create these 4 little corners, and they're like a photo corner. So if you wanted to include some photos and make this into a little memory book,
great idea.
You've got that. I've actually stamped out one of the calendars. I've not stuck these down yet, so they're actually floating about, but you can see they just slot over the edge to make those gorgeous little decorative corners, which again match that. It's all been thought out. They match the other die, so these would just slot in, and it may be that you want one of those on the inside of yours, or on one of the bits and pieces. Yeah, so that's your corner dies. You've also got these 2 pieces, okay, and these are to make your tab toppers. So again, I've just cut some cardstock to size. You can see where I've put this and die cut the top off here, and you get one for one side and you get one to do the other side. And then we're in a position there where we can actually start popping little dividers into our wallet there. So and then you can stamp with the stamp sets, you can stamp on the top of these. There's so many different ways of doing it. So all I want to talk about now is the actual stamp sets, and I've stamped a few things out just to show you. When I've decided, there we go, where I've decided where I've put them. So there are 4 in total. You get the calendar set, and these are brilliant. That little calendar that I stamped out, where did we put him with the corners? There he is. Depending on what month it is, depends on what day the first lands on. And you've got every single one of them. So whether the first lands on a Monday, Tuesday, so on, so on, so on, you just stamp out the relative one. Because I thought, oh, right, okay. But I stamped this out for January 2021. And I know the 1st of January is on a Friday. So if the first landed on a Tuesday, you just pick the relevant one.
So it's future-proofed.
Honestly, everything has been thought out.
That's brilliant.
We've got that long one here.
Yep.
That's got all the dates on. So I've literally turned that one into a birthday list. One of the stamps is out of one of the other sets. You've got all the days. You could fill in whose birthdays you've got on. You could have your dividers, January to March, April and so on. Pop that in so that you've got a list of reminders. Alternatively, you might want to use it as a Christmas card list.
Yes.
So many different ones, yep. The next one is the memo card. So again on this one, I've stamped this one out here, the long one, and then you get the extra pieces to pop in date, titled, however you want to set it out, you know, depending on what you're making a record or a log of there. So that's one of those. You also get in there the little cards as well, like little index cards. This is this one. And then the other one here, I've stamped out this piece and the topper and just made, you know, if you're collecting tickets from something, or you might be having a list of ideas for something. So many different ways. This one's got all your, you know, your different ideas. So this is where the birthday list come, the Christmas list, it could be a shopping list. I've got those ideas off there. And then also you've got the one here with the little tick boxes and the to-do, make a to-do list. You could pop that into your planner. You know, there's hundreds and hundreds of options. And then the final one, month, days and occasions, literally self-explanatory. If you wanted to label up your divider cards, if you wanted to do, you could do one of these for each month of the year if it was a birthday set. So many different ways. You've got the calendar numbers again. You might want to pop that on and circle up an important date. But honestly, if you look there, I don't know, can you add up, Ben?
Yes.
41 and 25
66
and 28
so 80, it's 86, 94
and another 25.
94, 99, 119.
That's just the stamps. You know, you can have a field day with those and literally plan it out. You know, like Ben said earlier, if you're planning a wedding, I know we planned a baby shower for my daughter before she had my little grandson. Anything like that that you want to keep a record of, it could have photos in, could keep tickets in it, receipts in it. You know, if you've been on holiday, stuff like that. Absolutely a winner if you like keeping notes of things and keeping a reference point. So yeah, that's your wallet. And then all those little bits that you can make to go with it and pop inside, just leaves it to your own. You know, I know it's a bit of a cheesy one, but the only limit's your imagination with it.
Do you know what? Hands down, I'm going to say in the 3.5 months I've been here, that has been the most worthwhile 29 minutes, I think. But because do you know what I mean? There's so many sets here that I think are quite self-explanatory. Even if you're a bit of a newbie, a lot of the sets that we do are quite self-explanatory. This is brilliant, but there's more to it, isn't there? And I think just reading some of the comments whilst Jan has been demoing, there's a lot of people who have got this and have got this home and gone, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Especially if you're new, like if you're a bit more experienced, and absolutely you'd have probably got this out of the packet, had a quick glance at the instructions and then gone. But that half an hour that we've just seen there, like for me as well particularly, I get it, I understand it, and you can see how all of the different components work beautifully with each other, how it all works nice and easily. And actually, for those of you who were looking at this going, this looks really difficult, there's no way that I could tackle this, you now know how simple and easy it is to do. If you do it step by step, have the instructions by you there as well, very methodical. This is the kind of show that you want to save to your favourites list, particularly if you have got this, if you bought this today, because to have that half-hour demo there as well to go with that, brilliant, worth the £73 alone. We do just have we've got loads of comments coming in, by the way, which I want to take a look at. Just to reiterate, so Eleanor has asked Jan, will this set work in the junior?
As I said at the top of it, the big concept die that makes the pages will need an A4 platform.
Right. Just
that one piece. Everything else will fit through the junior, but this larger piece doesn't it? If I show it you on our Gemini platform, in fact, if I do it on the plastic one, you can see a wee bit better. But if I show it you on here, it literally needs that A4 platform for that worker, that concept die to work there. Yeah.
And Rose just asked, what paper pad were you using? Because she loved the hearts and the florals.
The paper pad, now then, they were launched when we launched the memory books. And there was a vintagey one and there was a summery one. They were both 12 by 12 paper pads. They should be on the website.
Okay.
The name actually slips my mind because there's so many different ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go back to when we launched the actual memory books, the little mini photo books, there were two 12 by 12 paper pads and it was the summery one from there.
Okay.
Yep.
Lots of lovely comments coming in. Just a few of these. Fran says the calendar stamps are brilliant. Betsy saying, love a double show with Jan. She's so good at explaining her demos. I always learn so much. Crafty AJ on YouTube says, I would be lost without my lists. I got them all around the house. Gwen says, love the organizer. Made a bunch for Christmas gifts. Awesome, love the directions, says Nancy. Fred on YouTube, my brother asked for one of these organisers to hold work receipts and notes. Again, absolutely perfect for that. Kelly saying, I made 7 of these for my kids' teachers.
Excellent.
They turned out super cute. And Mary Pat 1000 on YouTube, I have some red leather that I want to try using these dies on. That's quite nice.
Yes, because if you've got a Gemini, those thin dies will go through the fabric. Yeah. Excellent.
Michelle saying, I love this collection. I made a lovely organiser for my mother. It was so simple and quick to do. There you go. Once you get the hang of it again, so quick and simple. And Anne saying, nice that it cuts the mats and layers for you. I've just received it. Haven't tried it yet though. Well, hopefully, Anne, now after you've seen that kind of like a mini masterclass within Second Chance Sunday, you've now got the idea. You've got that to rewatch when you want to get these out of the packets and have a go. You'll love it. And to have Jan there with you, showing you, easy peasy. £73 or $92 for the whole collection. Keep those comments coming in. Anything that you want to ask, then you can get those questions in, and lots of photos coming in too. Asked for snow photos today. There's no business like snow business. No. And we're off to Iowa.
Oh wow.
Deb's little Yorkies. Look, Deb Freeze. What a brilliant surname for the snow. Deb Freeze. You got Yorkies, haven't you?
Yeah, he's a big guy, mine though. I think he thinks he's a Westie. Honestly, I don't know what stock he came from, but yeah, he's a chunky little guy. Bless him.
Oh, does he like the snow?
They didn't know what to. When we had that big snow, was it about 10 years ago? Yeah. They were only little then, and they didn't know what to make of it. Honestly.
Ah, that's so cute. You've got little coats on. Look at them. Love that. That's brilliant, Deb. And as well as sending pictures of snow and dogs, I mean, what a great combination that is. No. You've sent this card through as well.
That's stunning, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
Yeah. It's almost got a holographic touch to it, where the light's catching it there, isn't it? Yeah.
I love that.
Fantastic.
Deb, thank you for those. Now, from Ohio, we are jet setting to Colorado. Look at this. 3 inches of snow.
And the sun's still shining.
I know. That's sort of perfect conditions, really, isn't it? Sunshine and snow, but even saying she reckons the snow will be gone by this afternoon with that sunshine. That's gorgeous. 3 inches of snow. Ro has sent in a picture as well. This is
look
gorgeous,
at the decorations.
I mean, that's
one that you'd stop to have a look at on the way past, isn't it? That is beautiful.
It certainly is. I mean, I've got lights up outside my house, but that puts mine to shame because you've obviously organised that beautifully with the shape of the house, the line of the roof there. Mine, I just chucked up. I didn't realise you were supposed to line it up with the house. That's brilliant.
That looks gorgeous.
And next up, this sounds like a new show, Crafting with Grandma, apparently.
Look at these. They look as if they're having fun.
Gina in Hawaii.
I bet they've not got any snow.
Oh, wow. Yes, those are the Dreamies characters that we had on a couple of weeks back now. Oh, wow, Gina, I'm so glad that you've enjoyed decorating those. And it looks like the children have had an absolute ball.
It does.
Decorating those. Isn't it great when you get the kids and the grandkids involved as well?
I can't wait, yep.
That is brilliant. Keep sending in those pictures, please. More Christmassy craft, more decorations, and more snow, please. Dogs in snow as well would be good, because I enjoyed that. Snow. Or cats in snow would be good. Seriously, just brilliant. Johnny's just gone, poor Charlotte. She's trying to ease into a new job, and Ben's going, send in pictures, get him in. But no, there's
nothing like jumping in at the deep end.
I know, but you got to learn the systems, as it were. Oh dear. She's going off me minute by minute. I can feel it. Right, embossing folders. The 3D embossing folders. These are absolutely phenomenal. I think we do a great line of embossing folders here at Crafter's Companion. And these, quite simply, are sort of like the next level, really, aren't they, when it comes to embossing, because it's that extra emboss, that 3D emboss.
Sculpting, isn't it?
It really, really is.
Beautiful.
And again, using all of your different cardstocks, getting your kind of gilding waxes involved here as well. There's just so many different techniques that you can do, but this collection is phenomenal for the fact that you're going to get 6 of these folders. That one there is your Gossamer Lace, which is absolutely gorgeous. Take a look at this one, which I absolutely love. It is your, I always forget the name of it, but it's the Lavish Leopard. I mean, that's just gorgeous, isn't it? It's kind of like that next level of emboss, really, that you're going to get with these. Next up here is your Vintage Scroll. Again, just look at that. If I just hold it up a little bit for you there, you can see just how deep that embosses that you're going to be able to achieve with that. You've then got your Peony Bouquet. Again, look at that. I mean, that just leaps out of the screen, doesn't it?
Gorgeous. It doesn't need much else, does it? If you're using these, you've pretty much got a card front there.
Yeah.
You know, add a sentiment, job done, isn't it?
Absolutely.
They'd be great for if you're batch making.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. You know, great again if you wanted to get into card making, you want an easy way to make a quick card. These embossing folders are phenomenal. That climbing ivy there, kind of almost giving you a bit of a frame there. For the start of a card project, and this one as well. I mean, come on, are you kidding me? The Grande Butterfly. Is it Grande Butterfly? Grande. A grande. We absolutely love
Schmetterling,
these.
is it, as Joe calls them?
A what?
A grande Schmetterling.
What's a Schmetterling? A butterfly?
Apparently it's a German butterfly.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it's always on.
Dash Schmetterling.
Yeah. We had a language go the other day. I think, is it Mariposa, I think?
Mariposa.
And is it Papillon?
Papillon.
Yeah,
Papillon.
so, it's an education coming here,
French.
honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what I learned the other day, and I think Johnny knows. Oh, Johnny, I don't know if you were here for this one. The word I learned from our American friends, Turducken.
Excuse me?
Turducken.
Bless you.
Thank you. Basically, what it is, we were talking about like Christmas food. It was on Thanksgiving actually, and like Thanksgiving foods. Turducken is it's like a 3-bird roast where you have your turkey.
Yes, I've seen
then
pictures
duck,
of those.
and then your chicken.
Fantastic.
Turducken. But it was just the name that made me laugh. That really did have me howling. Turducken. Nearly as much as yesterday's top comma with Craig and his top.
Don't set me off again.
He's like, what's it called, that thing there? I was like, what? An apostrophe? Top comma.
Top comma.
R. I don't know why Craig becomes a pirate when I do his voice.
Oh my days,
apostrophe. Bless him, we love him. Let's have a look at these embossing folders. So it's probably quite self-explanatory, but for people who are watching for the first time, so you have embossing folder, you have 3D embossing folder. And what is the difference?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit last time I was here, Ben, but it is a valid point. You know, it's an embossing folder at the end of the day, and it's like there is a difference. There's quite a significant difference. I've actually chosen the leopard one to work with today, so we're going to have a look at that. But I haven't got a 2D one with me today. Oh, I have. I tell a lie. I've got an old one from another. She says. Let me just think which one it's in. I'll come back, yeah. Okay. Basically, there is a big difference in the thickness of them. I was just going to try and show you the 2D one to compare them, but it's about half the thickness of this. The reason being, with a 2D folder, you get an embossed layer that comes up and it's all the same level. So that's all we need that folder to do. So that's why it's just a thin folder. So there are elements that are raised, push through your cardstock and bring it all up to one level. With a 3D folder, you've actually got more than one level of embossing. And I'll show you this when, in fact, if I bring you this piece in, this is the one that I did last time I was here. And you can see in the background there, we've got elements that are flatter than the ones in the foreground. So this allows you to have different levels of embossing, and it's almost like sculpted. It's got beautiful rounded edges. The one with the peony, in fact, we'll try and emboss that later in the show and I'll give you a good example. Sometimes you can see on the back, I don't know whether we can pick it up on the black as much there, but I'll show you later in the show where you can see the indentations are really deep, and that's why the folder is thicker. Yeah. So we're actually going to play with this one. This was in the packet, and this, as I say, we just did this with the Gilding Works last time. But what I'm going to do this time is I've got a piece of just plain watercolour card again, and I've been out with those same, because I had the yellow inks that I'd been doing earlier with the bee. I've used the same ones again. So we've got, these were pigment inks that I'd played with because I like that sort of chalky finish to it. So I use Lemon Tonic and Honey Pot.
Always the same tip. They come up so often, the Lemon Tonic and Honey Pot. Yeah. Everybody's favourite.
And literally all I've done on the glass mat. If you've got a craft mat, it will work on there. Tap it down, and then I've sprayed it with a little bit of water just to soften it a bit, and then literally put my card in it and picked up all the bits and pieces. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
I can just hear my producer in my ear now. All right, so again, I've done a combination of both colours, and that's literally how we've arrived at that. And then just round the edge, just to darken that edge a little bit. So that's my starting point, and we're actually going to pop this in the folder. Now, just to double check here, if you feel the folder, you'll feel that one side's got raised elements on it. I've lost him now. The other
we'll tell you what he's talking about in a minute. We're trying to concentrate on this demo.
Recessed elements on it. So literally this bit fits into the recess.
Yeah.
So what I want to happen is those raised bits to push up through my colour. If I put this in the other way round, I'm literally going to have the deboss because it's going to push the raised bits up through the white. Yeah, so it's just worth thinking about before you pop it in your folder which way. There's nothing wrong, you know, the deboss side looks just as nice as the emboss side, but just be mindful of which way you want to cut, you want to emboss. I've actually cut it down so that it fits nicely inside my folder. The folders are 5 by 7 inches, a standard embossing folder size, but I just cut it down slightly because the pattern, there's a little border all the way around it here. And I just wanted the pattern rather than the border. And again, I've just popped down to my junior plates now to go through the large Gemini. But because we've got that thicker folder, under normal circumstances, we would ask you to use 2 clear plates with your folders. If you look in the books, it says to emboss 2 clear plates. But because this is a 3D folder, there's a separate section in your instruction book that says we need a different combination. So I'm just going to put my clear plate with the magnetic shim, just as a shim to build up the depth.
Okay.
And then my folder, and then I'm going to use on this occasion the plastic shim as my top one. Okay. Now I know sometimes I've seen people put the metal shim in as well. If you're wanting a really deep emboss, if you put the metal shim in, it's got that bit more rigidity so that it will give you a nice emboss. But I find this is enough for what I wanted to do. So those are going to go through the Gemini.
Lorraine's just asked, with the 3D folders, are you using is there a different cardstock that you would use as opposed to a normal embossing folder?
No, not necessarily. It will do all your cardstock. It could be Centura Pearl, it could be the black card, the craft card, you name it. Anything will go through just as it would do through an ordinary 2D folder.
Okay.
All right, so when we open this up now, we'll see if we can pick up some of that detail. You can see there, look beautifully. Can you see how you've got those elements that are really raised up and yet there's like a level under? It's almost as if it's been matted and layered on the spots there from the leopard print.
Amazing, isn't it?
Okay, but just to bring that out a bit more and define it a little bit more, I'm going to bring some of the brown inks in now, and I've actually got the Friar Brown and the Seal Brown, which is the mid and the dark tone, and these again are the pigment inks, just because I get a little bit softer finish. You could be using your water reactive inks, but I actually like the pigment ones because they're just a little bit lighter the way they've been formulated. So again, I'm going to go into the lighter one first, and I'm going to take off some of the excess. I don't want a lot of ink on here, and this is where again that glass mat or your craft mats come in. And then I'm going to keep this flat to the paper and literally just take it over the top of where those raised elements, and can you see that popping out now where it's actually bringing out the detail. So we're going to go over, I'll sort of do this fairly quickly, and then I'm going to bring the darker one in as well, and that will literally bring it up another level. Okay, so again all the way around, depending on how much pressure you put on, depends on your depth of colour, and you can always, you know, start lightly and work your way around. If you want it a wee bit darker, you can just go over it a second time. I got a little bit heavy-handed on the bottom there compared to the top. Got a bit excited when I got to the end. And then I'm also going to bring in that darker one, but I want to go a little bit lighter this time. Lighter as in touch. Yeah. And I'm literally just going to go, can you see how it's just catching around the edges now? And it just brings that embossing to life. And I was sort of trying to go for the, you know, the leopard print look. It's like they have the slightly darker patches on there, don't they? So that's where I was aiming for. And that's going to be the front of my card now. And then I'm going to combine this with one of the other products that we've got on the show, because we've got those gorgeous swash stamps on again. Again, you know, the second chance is often where we've asked, you know, to bring products back and have a second look at them. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you want to see on the show, brilliant.
Absolutely. Get your emails in, send in your comments as well. I've not seen those swash stamps before, actually. It's the first time that I've seen them. Did you have them earlier in the week?
When did we have them on? Was it Wednesday? I think it was on Wednesday when I was here, yeah. Really, really nice collection. And again, lots of different variety in them. So I've picked the set out here, which is Simply Said.
Yeah.
And you get six different sentiments along with some embellishments as well.
Yeah.
And I've actually stamped out, because this was leopard print, I'm thinking going on safari.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to do a Bon Voyage one for you going off on your holiday. I know we can't at the minute, but one can dream, can't they?
Well, so it'll happen again soon,
yeah,
won't it, Jan?
so yeah, that's where I was heading with it. And again, if I bring
safari.
you this one out just to show you on here, you can see that you've got those lovely sort of leading, that lovely cursive writing. I just think these are beautiful, I really do. We've got on this particular set, I've got Good Luck, Happy New Home, Bon Voyage, Happy Retirement, Well Done, and New Baby. There are 3 other sets as well, with lots of, everyone's different, there's no duplication, plus you get some of the embellishments. So I took the Bon Voyage.
Gotta be, isn't it, for the
and I've just stamped it out onto some cream cardstock, and I actually, we can just, I don't know if it's picking the light up there, I've just put some clear embossing powder over it, just got a little bit of sheen on it as well. Just finishes it off nicely. And then I like the torn edges. It was a bit rustic, so I've just torn the edges of my card.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a landscape card, so this is going to go across the corner. And then just to lift it off that corner, I've got a piece of vellum as well, which I've also torn the edges. So I'm going to lay these down as a layer like this across the corner. And then I've also got my card blank. Again, a little bit of matting and layering. We've got the top fold card, bit of gold satin card from those luxury card packs, bit of brown textured cardstock. This is from one of the 8x8 pads. I don't think there is any brown in the 12x12s, but the 8x8s do the textured one as well. So let's just get those mats and layers down first.
You ever been on safari?
I haven't. The closest I've been is the Yorkshire Wildlife Park.
So
one can dream.
Closest I've been, Woburn Safari Park.
Yeah.
And
I had
you get all the monkeys and
32 primary children with me at the time.
Oh no! Oh no! That must have been.
It was awesome though. You know, you're driving past on the coach and there's a lion laid at the side of the road, and the coach stops.
Yeah.
The lion just yawns as if to say, "Oh, another coach load," you know. But yeah, really, really good. Awesome.
Oh, dear.
Quite a while ago now, but it's not that far away from us there.
Yeah, we've got Woburn Safari Park near us, and we went once. I think it was for Daisy's birthday, and yeah, you just get to the point where you get like to the monkey enclosure, and they're there on like top of the car. Thinking, don't you dare pull off the aerial, or like, you know, pull the windscreen wipers off, because they're all jumping over the car. It's just yeah, brilliant stuff. God, I don't envy you though. You're the bus with 32 kids.
I wasn't on my own.
Oh
no, we're not allowed to. There's a ratio of staff to children, so my goodness, I don't think even I'm that brave.
I struggled to keep my 2 in check, let alone 32 of them.
Yeah, there's a ratio.
Yeah.
So we usually ask for helpers at that point. So,
was it 64 adults for 32 kids?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny's just saying, like on the old school trip, you used to have the parents come along. That was one of the.
That's how I actually started out. And then somebody said to me, "Have you thought of working in school?" And that was where that story started.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I used to go in when my girls were little, and I used to go and help with the reading sessions.
Oh, like a TA?
Just as a parent helper.
Oh, right.
When I first started out, and the lady that was the class teacher at the time, that went on to be the head teacher, said to me, "She's really good at this, Jan. Have you thought about actually working in school?" So I went out, and at 40-year-old, I went back to school and did my qualifications.
Wow.
In a classroom full of, you know, sort of 16-year-olds that had just finished their GCSEs. Yeah. Became mum to all of them.
Yeah.
And actually got the quote. I redid my science GCSE at the time as well. Yep, and got the qualifications I needed to go on, and then spent 14 years, as I say, in primary. So, yep, so there we go. That's that one. And then I've just actually popped Again, you know, embellishments from my stash. You could actually have stamped out the little key that was on here, but this is just one that I'd got in my stash, which I'm just going to put a little bit of tape, bit of twine on there, and we've got that little key just as an embellishment. Older than you think. Older than you think.
Johnny's trying to work out how old Jan is now.
How old am I now?
Yeah, you're not allowed to ask, Johnny, it's rude.
If I told you all the other jobs I'd had in my lifetime, you'd be wondering exactly how old I am. I had my own business for 12 years prior to that.
Oh, cool, blimey.
And started out life as a bank clerk.
As a bank clerk?
Yep. For
wow.
one of the big banks, yep.
Wow.
So yeah, that's just one of those. But how different does it look? You know, just changing the colours. That was the black card with the gilding wax, which would have made it equally, you know, suitable topper for that. But just by changing it to those lighter colours, you've got a completely different look there.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about embossing folders. You know, you can make them fit whatever it is you're wanting to work with. So that was the lavish leopard print. Yes. It's a bit of a tongue twister, that one, isn't it?
It is, lavish leopard print.
Leopard print.
And just one of the 6 that you get within that collection as well, don't forget. And hopefully, you've seen just from that demo as well, just the amazing emboss that you do get from your 3D folders. Within the collection, of course, don't forget, you do get the lavish leopard print. You'll also get your Grand Papillon. You've also got your climbing ivy. You've got your peony bouquet, again, absolutely stunning. Like Jan was saying earlier on, do you know what? It's almost like a card in itself right there. There's that gorgeous vintage scroll as well. Phenomenal. That is, of course, the lavish leopard that we just saw in that demo with Jan. And then you've got your Gossamer Lace as well. £32 or $46. Safe to say, lots of lovely comments coming in. Stephanie and Janet saying what a lovely card. Nancy saying lovely tips, great tips. And I love Jan's demos, says Carol on Facebook. With the wonderful tips. Mary Pat on YouTube also joining in saying what a lovely card from Jan. Unbelievably, we've only got about 55 minutes remaining, so we've got some more pictures coming in. Now this is brilliant. Kelly messaged earlier on saying that she made all of the organisers for the teachers, 7 of them. So she sent them in there. Look at that.
Oh wow!
All different
do you know,
styles.
I would have been thrilled to receive something like that when I was in school. They'd be so useful. That's brilliant. Some time and patience there, Kelly. Well done.
And do you know what's great about that as well? I guess teachers must get the same sort of thing, same sort of gifts. So it's nice, isn't it, to get something a little bit different? It
is, but any gift's nice, Ben. You know, the fact that the children used to bring gifts in, it didn't matter what it was, the little smile on their face when they come and presented it to you, it could have just been a drawing with some wax crayons. Yeah. And it meant the world, honestly. I used to take them all out and spread them all out on the underneath the tree before Christmas. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
Aww.
Yeah.
Now, Rachel has ticked all the boxes here because I said dogs and snow, please.
And we've got both.
We have. This is. This is Rachel's dog. What's the dog called? Rachel's dog, Ronnie. And on the earlier show, we were chatting about how clever dogs are, and we got onto the subject of medical detection dogs. Now, Ronnie isn't a medical detection dog, but he is able to let Rachel know when her blood sugars are low because she's a diabetic. Well, that is amazing. Is he a little poodle? It's like a little poodle. He's got a little coat on there as well. That is so cute, and what an amazing dog, Rachel. You must be over the moon to have Ronnie in your life. That's just a brilliant story, and I love that. So thank you for sending that picture in, and I love that. So happy in the snow there. Please, and Johnny's on it now. He's going, yeah, keep your pictures of your dogs coming in. A minute ago, goes, oh, don't send any more pictures. I send them in now. You see, dogs in the snow, we love them. Oh, also by the way, who was it who sent in the tofu thing? was that Ro? Did you say? All right, so sorry, because we were laughing earlier on. I think it's always important to explain. If there's a laugh going on, we should share it with the rest of the class, shouldn't we, Miss?
Yes.
So I was mentioning earlier on about how during the Thanksgiving show, lots of American friends were saying about what they eat. And so there was Turducken, which was turkey stuffed with a duck and a chicken. Apparently, Ro has been in touch to give the kind of vegetarian angle of that, which is a fake turkey made of tofu, which is called what? I don't want to actually say that, because that could be bad. What's it called? You've got to be really careful. Here. Apparently it's called... Oh, I'm going to be careful with this. I don't know if I want to say it. Do it again. Tofu. Furky.
That was very brave. Very brave.
So there you go. I'm loving all of these coming in. I'm loving all of these. Oh dear. Just a couple of final comments on that leopard card, by the way. Toe furky.
Yep.
The card is great, Jan. In the right colour, it looks like giraffe, and then the dark colour looks like leopard. Yes, absolutely.
Excellent,
depending on what colours you use. Betsy's saying such a cute card. I love it. Let's talk about the hint of classiques then. Because again, these are fairly new to the shop, as it were. These are a 36-piece collection, so it may well be that you've already got your classic collections, but these were kind of launched to sort of almost fill in the gaps just a little bit, because there were a few of you saying that you didn't quite have the blend that you wanted as far as the classics were concerned, and these are a slightly lighter blend for some of the colours that you've already got. You've got 24 pens in total here. Of course, once again, you've got double-ended with your bullet and chisel nib, and it's probably easier if I just show you the board here to show you all of the different colours that you are going to get here. £54 or $80, so it's a 10% saving on what you should normally pay. It should be it should be $59.94 or $89.79. So yeah, £54 or $80. So you can see you've got that lighter shade with all of these. You've got your Barely Brights and your exquisite pastels as well, and we'll talk to Jan more about these in just a few moments time. But basically, if you want to kind of almost complete the collection, then that is the set to go for. As well as having the classiques on the show, at the same time we launched the classic stamps as well, the hint of classic stamps, and these are just brilliant because if you've got some brand new pens to be playing with, then you will want some stamps as well. This is the Graphics Companion Hint of Classic Stamp Collection. 39 elements here, but big, bold stamps that you've got to get colouring with. So this one here is the Sending Happy Thoughts. So again, you've got that beautiful floral bouquet and sentiment stamps along the lines of thinking of you for a special friend and sending happy thoughts. Again, as Jan was saying earlier on, do you know what? That's kind of a nice stamp collection to send a card just because, and I think this is the year to be kind of doing that, isn't it? If you're crafting and making cards, just because cards are brilliant, it doesn't always need to be a special occasion to send a card in. Have a lovely day. This one here, again, look at that, absolutely gorgeous. So much there for you to get your classics into, that gorgeous floral with Just For You, wishing you a lifetime of happiness as well. Then included in this, yep, we had bunnies earlier on, and we've got bunnies on this show as well. This is Some Bunny Loves You. Look at that bunny! Oh, can we have pictures of bunnies in the snow as well, please? That would be decent, wouldn't it? If anyone's got any bunnies in the snow, bunnies, any animals in the snow. I've got a brilliant picture of my dog Mac in the snow, but I haven't got my phone on me, otherwise I'd have sent that to you. It was the first year that he discovered snow, I think about 3 or 4 years ago, and honestly, he just had the best time. He was living his best life, he was. But there's your bunny. Somebody Loves You. You've got Thank You, Just To Say, and more. Then here, oh, My Cup of Tea, like this. Again, I like the fact that you've got kind of different styles, different artwork. So, depending on the kind of thing that you want, it's kind of covered off in this collection. You've got your cups of tea there and your teapot. Tea-rific. There's always time for tea. And more in that one there. Again, more beautiful artwork here with kind of changes everything. You've got that beautiful flower. Butterflies again have been a big theme over the weekend as well. And then last but by no means least, you saw a hint of this a little bit earlier on in the masterclass. That beautiful seahorse there is gorgeous. You've got the starfish on there, and I love that sentiment. Seize the day. See what we did there? That's brilliant. So that full collection, £39 or $49 today. Perfect partner to go with your Hint of Classics if budget stretches today. Remember, 15% saving for everybody on those, plus an extra 20% if you are a platinum member. But let's have a look at these Hint of Classics. And I want to say that these were launched fairly recently, and Jan, they sort of filled a bit of a gap as far as the classics were concerned, didn't they?
Yeah, if I'll talk about those first
yes.
and come back to the stamps, because I'm going to use them in conjunction with each other. So we'll come back. I'd picked out the little seahorse one.
Yes, brilliant.
But we'll come back to those because the actual hints of, if anybody's familiar with our system, if you use the alcohol markers, you'll know that we've actually got ranges of colours. So we have shades within a colour. So I've just picked out what I want to use for my seahorse is the green turquoises, and they're all labelled up. Let's get them the right way around. These were just off our collection. We've got GT1, GT2 and GT3, 1 being the lightest shade, and then so on. Now some of them have more than 3 shades, some of them have, you know, just the 3. If you like, we've also got names on them, so if you're a lover of pens, you know that have got ice green, aquamarine and teal there. All right, so that was the original Classiques collection. And then what we've done with the hints of, if I just open my packet, I've actually got Tinted Neutrals here, which I know that GT is in, if I can get in the packet. And I'm just going to pull out that particular one, which is in the end there. And this one is GT05. So because we're on 05, this one comes in before the 1, 2 and 3. So what we've actually created here is a paler shade to start you off with that, because we always say saturate the card with your lightest shade, and then bring in the depth of colour with the you know, with your next level of shades. Well, you could jump from GT05 to GT2, you could go GT05, GT1, jump to 3, depends how dark you want to take it, but these are a really nice pastel range that will work individually. So you don't have to have, I'm not saying that you've got to use them with the rest of the Classique collection. That was the thinking behind them, that it's adding a paler shade, a pastel tone to that colour range that already exists. Now, having said that, there's nothing to say that you couldn't actually use one of these packs and work with the colour. We've actually banded them in colours that work together. You know, so you could actually use the colours in here. So in here I've got a mixture of the green turquoises, I've got the jade greens, I've got icy blues, and then we go into some of the more warm tones. So we've got yellow greens, earth browns and red browns, but all those colours will work together and you get the most softest pastel colouring. If you like pale shades, these are absolutely beautiful, but to work with them with the rest of the colours, it gives you that pale base to then build up the depth of colour, and that's what we're going to do in the demo. So I'm going to leave that one out. Okay, and I'm going to bring the stamp sets back in. I've gone for the Seize the Day one here because I just love this seahorse on here. And we're actually going to take some stamping card. Again, that lovely smooth finish on here. I'm going to take out these and I'm going to stamp out the scene that I want to work with, which is going to become a shaker card when we're actually got it all done. But I've got a little trick for you that you may have seen, you may not have seen. But again, we're going to line him up where I want him on the card, which is about there to one side. And I want to leave room to make an aperture as well. So yeah, that looks about right. So once we've got him in place, pick him up and then just be mindful of what type of ink. Our finesse ink pads come in 2 particular types and it's all done foolproof for you. So we've got waterproof dye, which works with, this is a permanent dye, a permanent ink that works with watercolour, and you've got the water brush there, the paintbrush to remind you. And then we've got alcohol proof dye, which is a water-based dye to work with your alcohol, and you've got the alcohol marker there so that you don't get them mixed up. So because I'm going to be colouring with alcohol markers, I need to use my alcohol one. Now the other thing that I like to do is actually use the flagstone. All right, the 2 that I'd got here were the black ones, the Noir Black. But when I'm stamping, I don't want it to be too harsh and outlined. So I actually prefer the flagstone, which is a dark grey. And it's not quite as harsh as the black. And again, it's just preference. It's not a must do. Try them. There are also 2 other colours. There's 2 shades of brown. So if you're stamping out something that you want to do in sort of sepia tones, that brown artwork, the outline artwork, gives you that sort of, it makes it more monotone. So have a play with them, you know, have a try and see which you like. So again, I've just inked up my little seahorse and then we're going to pop him back on that page just to one side there. And he's going to become a shaker card when we've finished.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay, So a nice stamp. Let the ink have chance to absorb into the card, and then when we let go, just look how beautiful they are, honestly. And that's just onto my stamping pad with one of the stamping platforms. It could be the magnetic platform if you've got that, however you want to do it. If you prefer the rocker block technique or a clear block, they will work on any of them. Okie doke. So what we want to do next then is make an aperture. So I've got my stitched circles, and I've taken, I always like to count from the large one at the outside. So I go 1, 2, and I've got the third size down. And what I want to do is actually make an aperture around him.
Oh.
So I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw around where I want this to be. So I'm just sort of eyeballing here and here to get about the same distance, about 3/4 of an inch here, because I need room to put my tape round it eventually with a shaker. And because the cutting edge is on the outside, I'm just going to draw around it, but I want to stop. Obviously, I'm not going to cut a hole out of my little seahorse.
I was going to say that's what was going on there.
Okay, this is the tip for you today.
Okay.
So that's the guideline as to where I want to put it, but obviously I don't want to cut him out. So what I'm going to do is take my little snips. I'm going to go through the middle here, because this is going to be the waist part here, and I'm going to cut up to the top where that starts, and I'm going to cut. I can cut a little bit of this away so that I can work in it, because we're not going to need that bit. I'm going to cut down to the bottom here, and then I just need to cut just a fraction of the stamp. You don't need much, but come from the inside. Don't be tempted to come from the outside here, because we need all this intact. Again, I'm going to just take, I'm going probably about 1/4 of an inch, if that. But what I actually want to do now is slot my die inside.
That's clever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Line it up with that one that we've drawn on. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a cut here, but obviously he's going to stay intact because the cutting edge is underneath. Okay, so bring this one back in, and I'm also going to line it up with the edge of the plate. All right, because your die will only cut where the plates apply pressure. So the bit that's hanging out here at the edge, obviously I don't need that bit to cut. So let's just build up that platform again for a thin metal die. So I need my magnetic shim, plastic shim, and my other cutting plate. And then we're going to pass that through the Gemini, and it's just going to cut that part of the circle out that's trapped between the two plates. All right, leave the seahorse intact, but we're going to end up with an aperture. I'll show you what I mean there when we take this back out now. All right, and you see how it's just cut that piece out?
That's super
And then
clever.
obviously with just with a pencil rubber, if you've got any bits of pencil still showing, you can rub it out.
I've not seen that technique before.
There you go. So
brilliant.
it's partial die cutting.
Was that
so
partial?
Partial die cutting, yeah. And as I say, it will only go where you put the plates on there. Okay. So let's just move those out of the way, and we need a little bit of spare cardstock because I'm going to use my alcohol markers next.
Just to say, there's loads of messages just come in saying about that tip you've just shown us there, how brilliant it was.
Oh, thank you.
Love Jan's demo, says Jean. So many good tips, lots of details, easy to follow. And relating to that demo there, the partial die cutting, Cheryl says on Facebook, that is brilliant. And Carol goes on to say, that tip is golden, Jan.
Excellent. So you can do it with any of your dies. Any. I forgot to actually finish it off there because it does look a bit of a mess.
Just sort of trim
All
it.
I would do then is just literally cut round the rest of him here by hand. And again, it's whether you cut right up to it or whether you leave. I like to leave a little tiny white border, so I'll not spend time here because you know what I'm aiming at. But just keep your scissors to the side, lay them flat on the side, and I like to leave sort of like just maybe a mil white border around him like so. So all I'll do for the purpose of this is literally just cut some of that scrap away, because I've got one, as always, that I've prepared, because I just want to show you a couple of tips now with the colouring. So you would do this neat, so obviously you've got a nice edge around it. But coming back to the classiques now, again, you've got your bullet tip on one end, and then you've got your chisel tip on the other. So if you've got large areas to colour, get in with that chisel tip. It will cover much more of a surface area quicker than the bullet nib. But what we're going to do is I'm going to work with the 0.5 from the hints of,
yep.
And then I'm also going to pick shade GT1 and then I'm going to jump to GT3. And we're going to get that 3 blend colour in, okay? So I'll just do a little bit because, as I say, I've already got him done. But again, one of the top tips I can give you with this is have something underneath your colouring, because the idea of alcohol inks is that they saturate the card and you can see them. I know I've had people say to me, oh mate, they've bled through the card, they're supposed to. That's how they work, all right? But if I didn't have anything underneath here, when that saturation point reaches my non-porous surface, the card would soak it back up again, and that's when you often get bleeding outside of your line art. So just by popping, it's a bit like blotting paper, it will catch the ink rather than it hitting that surface. And again, work on a small area at once. So I normally have all of these in my hand at once, like so, and I'm just going to do a little area where I flood the lightest one. So this is the 05. Can you see it's not, you know, the pastel shades, but it's not that pale. It's got a good tone to it. And I'm just going to work with some of it. I'm not going to do all of it. We'll just do his face and flood the area where you want that lightest shade to go. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my next one, which is the GT1, and I'm going to start and add some depth of colour in. So again, round the bottom here, where it would be a little bit darker. Okay, maybe around his eye. I'm going to put a little bit in the spines here at the top.
Are you a big colourist?
I love colouring, Ben. Love it. Stamping and colouring is where I started out in crafting. I love anything that involves stamps and whatever colouring medium, whether it be watercolour, the aqua markers, the pencils, the inks, the spark, you name it. Okay, I could just sit and colour. You lose yourself.
It's a relaxing craft,
It is really
isn't it?
relaxing. And then go back down. So I'm going back to the 1 just to blend that line. I'm not going to go over the top of it because the 1 is lighter than the 3. If I go over the top of it, it will start and bleach it. So I'm just going up to the line and nudging that line with it just to get it to sort of almost blend. It's almost like bleeds one into the other. And then finally I'm going to go back to the 05 and do the same again. So where I've got that next medium tone, blend it out again, and you get that lovely definition. Gorgeous. Now the other tip that I will give you with alcohol markers is don't judge it at that point, because it takes time to dry. You need time for the alcohol to evaporate and leave the colour. So don't think, oh, it doesn't look very good, it's not blended very well. Leave it for a good 5 minutes or so, walk away from it, go make a cup of tea, come back, and you'll be amazed at how it actually blends in. And that's one that I've done exactly the same with. I've trimmed him round the edge and I've actually coloured him all the way through. So that's the actual bit that we need. And then I know if any of you have been watching Craig, he talks a lot about actually colouring around the outside of the image.
Yes.
So in this same pack, we've got that lovely pale one again, and this is the ice blue, 05 breezy blue. So all I've done is gone all the way around the outside of the image, very, very pale, and all the way around here. It just sort of almost makes it then start to jump off the page a little bit. So let's pop him together again. We're going to make him into a shaker card. So we've got our card. All right, this one is it's actually a shop bought 7x7, but I discovered quite a long time ago that it's the envelope sizes that are 7x7.
Oh, okay.
So your card is just slightly smaller so that it will fit in the envelope.
Yeah.
So it's just under about 6 3/4 square. And then again, I've been using those beautiful sparkle inks. That's one of the paler blues there, just to make some background because I wanted it to look like water behind him here. So this is going to sit on there like so. So we'll stick that piece on the back there. And then we're going to create some shaker space with the foam, which we can get on the website. So let's just pop that there to see where we need it. I need to make sure that that piece is going to cover up. Stick that bit down. On the back of here, I've got him prepared, look. Back of here we need some acetate so that we can create that space for our shaker. Take that one off. Okay, oops, come back. And then I've got a piece of acetate which we're going to put over the back of the aperture there, just to make sure it's sealed. Okay, again, stick that down so that we don't get any escapees when we put the sequins and things in. So you can see how he's coming on now. We've actually got, this bit going on here. This is what I wanted him to look like.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take my shaker foam now. And again, it's up to you whether you want to actually go around the aperture. So it's a little bit sort of wobbly. Oh, we've got a new one here, look.
Oh, hello, look at this.
Yeah, out of my stash, especially for the show, because my other one was running low. So again, you can follow the aperture if you want, but just for speed, I'm literally just going to create a rectangle. And it's easier to line up the rectangles as well. So we're just going to go all the way around the edge there, making sure that that foam is actually touching the last piece, because if you're using sequins or little pearl beads or anything like that, they are very, very clever at finding the gap.
Yeah,
and I know this because when you shake and they fall out, you think, oh gosh. Yeah, the slightest little gap and they will work their way out of. So yeah, make sure that that foam's just pushed up against each other. And again, when you get to that last bit, in there. Okay, so we've created ourselves a little space, and then I've made a shaker mix. I've got all sorts of bits and pieces. So I've got some sequins in there, there's some of our white mix in there, I've got some little tiny stars that I had in my stash at home. Just made that shaker mix to match the colour tones. And again, I like to put this on here, and I'll tell you why in a second. I don't know whether we need all of it. I'll leave that like that. So, choices, you can actually put this inside here. Yeah. But then when you invert your card over it, you can't see whether you're straight. And also, I have issues with all the shaker bits sticking to my adhesive here. I end up with them all stuck on the edge, and that's not what you want. So pop them onto your cardstock, and then we've got the backing off the shaker foam.
Aisha has just asked, what's the depth of the foam? Do we know?
Let me just have a little look, because there is different depths in them. I think this one is a 3mm. You can just see there on the edge of it. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. There is a 1mm as well. So it's on the website. You can get a mixed packet, I think, on the website, which is what I was using just there. Okay. So have we got all that? I think there was one piece there that's actually, there we go, eluding me. And then now, because we've got this straight, we've got the opening at the side there, I can just lay this over the top now, and we can line it up perfectly. That looks real. Whereas when you do it the other way around, it's a bit of a guess as to whether it's actually going to be in the right place or not. And then you've got, thought they look like the bubbles in the sea. They do look like the bubbles, yeah. And then in that, if we bring that stamp set back in, you can see in here, there's all sorts of additional elements in there. So again, you can decorate however you wish. There's actually some seaweed, which I've stamped and cut out there, and then you've got choices as to whether you want I like the seize the day. It's got to be seize the day. Seize the day. The other one's nice as well. It says dream higher than the sky and deeper than the ocean. You could put that inside as a little greeting inside. And then we've got those little starfish as well. So however you want to decorate, I'm just going to finish sticking this together, Ben. Okay. But yeah, as much or as little as you want to do. So that's your hint of classic markers, and then that beautiful set of stamps that came out with it at the same time. So I'm just going to finish sticking that down now, and then that one's finished. Cindy on YouTube saying, great instructions. Marilyn saying, I tell you, Jan is an encyclopedia of fab tips. Amazing tips, says Margaret. Thank you, Jan. Brilliant, says Cheryl. Loving Jan's demo, says Jean. So many good tips, lots of details, easy to follow. And Shadiah on Facebook saying, I'm waiting for these markers. Yeah, as you can see, just brilliant. So as Jan was explaining, you don't have to have bought the classics previously, but if you've already got them, this is the like the half, if you like, to your 1, 2, 3. So it's going to give you that hint of, I suppose, isn't it? It's going to make them go even further. And I love the fact that, yeah, if you are buying these as a separate entity, then absolutely you can do that as well. £54 or $80 today for the whole collection. So you are going to get your tinted naturals, your elegant hues, and your chic neutrals, and you're going to get your barely brights, your exquisite pastels, and your delicate florals as well. So as we said, if you've already got the full collection, it's going to take that collection even further for you. But if you are just seeing these as a separate entity on their own, then as we've already discussed, absolutely, they are perfect for that. Details on the bottom of the screen as well of your stamp collection, which as we've seen are perfect to go with those.
as well. Wow, so many goodies on this show. It's been a brilliant week. Second Chance Sunday bringing you so many of our favourite items from the week. And if you were watching yesterday, boy oh boy, did you love these on Craft House. Sharon Callis's second collection that she's launched with us here at Crafter's Companion. The Butterflies and Blooms was so busy. But this was the second collection launched yesterday, the Vintage Frames collection. And as we saw with Sharon yesterday, so much detail in these, and the fact that you've got within each set the beautiful detailed and decorative frames, and then you've got the kind of inner and outer dies as well to be able to cut, you know, your frames if you want. You've got all of your different mats and layers there too. And what we loved about this particularly, not only have you got 4 completely different frames with gorgeous vintage detail, but you've got those little Easter eggs hidden in there as well. I'll leave these for you to kind of find yourselves, but she's hidden little creatures within the die cuts of each of the frames that you've got. And it was so lovely because she didn't tell us until about an hour and a half into that. Like, even producer Johnny didn't know, Craig didn't know, he'd been demoing with them, and all of a sudden she said, just look here. Basically what I'll tell you, within these you'll find little crickets, you'll find ladybirds, butterflies, and what was the thing? It was a bumblebee, wasn't it, as well? When you see it, you're like, oh my goodness, that is amazing how she's popped that in here. This is the Bobbin lace frame. Again, giving you a bit of an idea of the things that you can make. Just gorgeous. I love the fact, as we found out yesterday, they're just so versatile for creating those mats and layers, for creating those beautiful frames as well, and even stoppers too. Cards like that you can create. So elegant, so gorgeous are these frames. Then you're also going to get with this your Venetian lace frame as well. Again, this card here showing you different ways that you can use these and layer all of these up. Just gorgeous. We were chatting yesterday, that one's a bit like the old mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? But again, it gives you the ability to be able to create so many different layers. And again, like we saw there with Janice a few moments ago, shaker cards you can make with these as well. They're absolutely gorgeous, are they not? And then finally, last but by no means least, you've also got your Turquoise lace as well. And again, just giving you a bit of an idea of the kind of things you can do. Take a look at that. So elegant, so classy are these. And when you get these back, first thing you'll do is look for those 4 little animals that are hid inside those dies for you. 20 elements in total. Great deal on this as well. Literally launched on the 10th of December. So these are what, 3 days old. £41 or $60 for that collection. The kind of collection, again, that you just know you will use time and time again for all sorts of different projects. £41, $60 for that collection. I am rapidly running out of space here. Next up, this left fold alphabet collection. We could do with a bigger space, really, couldn't we? Next up, yes, the left fold alphabet collection. Now, with the alphabet collection, you get the numbers as well, right? Yeah, you do. Good. I just wanted to double check that. These are super handy because, again, if you are wanting ultimate impersonalization, well, you want numbers and you want letters, do you not? And that's exactly what you get with these. But what I love with these particularly is they've got a really cool cut on them, which gives you that little opening so you can create sort of like a silhouette effect almost, I suppose, really. But it's a really, really clever design that gives you just a little bit of a dynamic to your card. And of course, again, if you are looking, as I say, for personalization, maybe you want to create some home decor pieces. Maybe you want to create a card for somebody who's got, you know, a bit of a unusual name, for example. Then you've got the alphabet here to allow you to do that, no problem at all. And you can see here on this card, for example, just how it works. I really love that, how you just can create whatever the word that you want, but then you've got that really cool fold in it, which allows the word, the phrase to just pop out. Oh, no! Knocking things over again. That's twice today. Just pop. I haven't done it for ages and now I've done it twice. And again, with this, so you've got the pink on the outside, but then on the underneath, look at that. Bit of gold glitter card in there. It's so cool, just for hiding like a different style underneath, as it were. Then as well as that, you've got so much stuff here. Your numbers. This one also comes with your little. Now I always forget what that's called. Is that the ampersand? Ampersand. Yeah. So you've got all your numbers. You've got all your letters. You've got your ampersands as well. So again, if you're wanting to create, like banana, for example, you always see 70th, 80th, 100 maybe, but you don't see cards with 93 on, do you? But with this, absolutely, you've got the ability to do that. And again, you can see that really clever design just lets the words and the phrases pop out of the cards. I love it. If you want to go for it, it's £59 today or $70 for that full collection. Less your 20% if you're a platinum member. Brings it down even further for you as well. Look at that. I mean, come on, that is just brilliant. Again, with the yellow on the actual outside, and then you can just see the drop colour behind in the red. I just think that's really, really cute and a really versatile set, as I say, for personalisation. Just brilliant. All the numbers, all the letters. I think we're going to see a demo on this with Jan. Really cool set, this, isn't it?
Honestly, they're great. They are. There's some really, really good ideas. And again, you know, our product development team test all these ideas, and you know, you've got the confidence that when they come to you, you know that they're literally going to work and do what they're supposed to do. So 2 parts to it, like Ben says. You've got the full alphabet in there, and I actually demoed the alphabet on Wednesday, and we made this particular one. So this was what we did, and you can see those letters lift up. I've got some silver glitter card under there, just matting and layering and then stamping. This was part of the stamp set that comes with them. So again, I thought, you know, done letters on Wednesday, we'll go back to the numbers. Cool. So I'm actually going to start with the numbers today. So we'll pop the letters to one side, and the numbers in there, you get obviously all the way up to the 0 and then the ampersand, so you can make any combination. So I'm actually going to pick the 6 and the 5. I don't know why I went for 65. Maybe I was feeling that on the day, I don't know, but that's what we ended up with,
Johnny's age, Johnny's age.
Feels like mine sometimes. But if you can have a close-up on this, if I bring this higher up so that you can see here, you can see that the cutting edge starts here. It goes all the way around the outside of it and then stops here. So you've got a gap here that just creates a little score line. So this is the bit that stays anchored to the card and allows you to lift it and open it up like that little doorway. And all the letters are the same. If you look at the 5 as well, you can see that here there's a gap and here there's a gap. So all the numbers remain anchored in your card. If you wanted to use them as separate numbers, all I would do is just snip them out along that score line, okay, which is what we've done on in the past on some of the demos. So what I wanted to do then, I've got some pastel card this time. This is from one of the 8x8 textured card pads again, and I've picked that lilac-y colour. And last time I was here, I was talking about working with some of those neutral tones. So I've got the grey as well. I thought the grey and lilac look quite nice together. So I'll come back to the mats and layers in a second. But what I actually want to do is cut the numbers out of the centre of my circle. And again, for the circles, I've just used the nesting die. So I want to, size-wise, I think we're on 1, 2, 3, the 4th one in for this particular sized card. But again, you know, depending on what you're working on. So, I've got a bit of tape left. Look, my tape's doing well today.
You have done well today,
Upcycling at the best. So again, all I'm going to do is position these sort of roughly eyeball the centre. You know, when you're happy with them, as I say, I would stick them down. Again, you don't want them to move. So we'll go for about there. And again, stick it down and make sure it's stuck. All right, and then we're going to cut that through there. So let's just pop that straightforward, literally, you know, thin metal die. That's as simple as it gets. Oops-a-daisy, we're on that way again now, Jan. It's totally confused me. Swapping my machines over.
Oh, don't forget as well, machines-wise, that Gemini Junior.
Still there, isn't it?
On, still there. For UK viewers, Gemini Junior, lowest ever price I've seen it. If you're a platinum member, the deal on it today, it's literally £100 and pence. £100, 80 pence. If you haven't got your Gemini Junior and you want one, today is a great day to get it. Only available in the UK. It's sold out earlier on in the US.
So again, just that tip. Be really gentle with your tape and roll it back, and you'll find that there's less tearing. So when we look at this now, you can see that these have actually come out on the right hand side, but I've got that lovely score line that I can literally just fold them back on that left hand side. So you've got that opening there for them to lift up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brilliant.
And then what I've done is I've gone down to my scalloped circles. All right, which match. Okay, this is just my filing system from home, so don't worry about the packaging. And I've actually gone onto some silver glitter card, and we're going to work again. I don't know why I've ended up with silver. I love silver glitter card. It's one of my favourites, the silver and the ivory. But again, so that you can see through the back of there, when you lift them up, you've got that. But then I thought, well, it does still look a little bit plain. So like I was saying to you, if you cut the numbers and snip them out, you can actually come with just a separate number. And I was looking for it earlier and I actually found it because it was in this demo. I found my 2D folder. We were talking about them earlier. Yeah, this is the really thin one. Yeah. And all I've done is pop them through there just to give them a little bit of texture rather than, this is an old folder from one of Sarah's older collections, but whatever you've got in your stash, just to add a little bit of texture to them so that they're not so flat. And I'm literally going to stick all this down. So because I'm going on to glitter card, I do tend to use my tacky glue for this. So all the way around the edge there. And then be careful not to get any on the actual numbers. You just want the bits that are going to stick down. All right, leave the numbers free and then pop these down onto your glitter card. So again, this is just the next size up so that we've got that lovely scalloped edge showing.
Make a good little badge that as well.
It could, yeah, on a card,
yeah.
And then I'm going to pop these ones over the top just so that it stands out a bit from the lilac card. So again, we've got the 6, and you know, again, because they're die cut, they're literally going to fit straight over the top there. You've not got to worry about things lining up and is it going to match. It's like all that hard work's been thought about and you just get the chance to play with them. So again, the 5 over there, and you can see how they stand out a bit more now than just the lilac, but we've still got that ability to lift them up.
Yeah, love that.
And then I've got a second one that I did exactly the same. And what I actually want to do with these is put them back to back. Okay. She didn't think about that when she stuck them down, but luckily we've got them the right way. Okay, so 2 exactly the same, and I've just stuck some thread on the back of this one. Okay. So let's just pop the card together quickly then. So I've actually got card size, Centura Pearl again. I make a lot of my own card blanks, and I'm looking at 6.5 inch squared, folded in the middle and then folded back. Yeah. Now, because we're working with an A4 card, this has got a join in here because obviously you can't do 2 lots of 6 inches out of our 11 3/4 cardstock. If you're working with A3 card, you could do this all in one piece. So I've just joined it in the back there, folded it back, nobody will be none the wiser. I've used that same embossing folder to actually create the mats and layers. Now my folder wasn't quite wide enough for my piece, so I've done it twice. All right, so I've put it through as it is there, and then I put it through again, and I've just used a little bit of ribbon to decorate it, but it also hides the line where the 2 pieces join from the embossing folder. Yeah. So again, use the tape pen just to stick this down, and then I've created some layers to go round around the semicircle as well in the middle. So this bit's going to go on here, and then we've got 1 to fit on here. Okay, so we're just going to stick those on with the tape pen.
Lynn on Facebook says the alphabet set is on my wish list. Yeah, ooh, right. So yeah, get it on your Christmas list. There's still time, I think. What day is it today? 12 days, aren't we? 12 days to go. Still time. And Mary Lee saying, I haven't been commenting because I'm in a colouring coma with my classiques and tri-blends. So much fun.
You do. You sort of forget to talk.
Yeah.
It's the same when we're demoing. You sort of get lost in the colouring and you have to remember to actually speak.
That's it. That's Sarah particularly. If you ever do the show with Sarah and you know she gets into a colouring, she just disappears, doesn't she? He just starts talking and you think, oh yeah, time for me to say a bit. I used to just saying spin a card as well. Such a great idea.
So you can see there we've got that one going, and then what I want to do is pop the tape inside the back here so that it's secured in the back. So I'm just going to use a bit of tape here. I've stuck it onto the back of the circle, but we'll just cut a couple of pieces here and actually pop that to secure these down. So again, just with the fold there, I'm just going to line it up, get it in the middle of my aperture, line it up here, and then pop the tape to stick it down. Give it a really good rub because you don't want that to come out. And then the same at the bottom, bring it down level with that score line and stick it down in the bottom. So we've just got a little bit spare there that we'll snip out so that it doesn't stick out the bottom. And you can see we've got this going. We've almost making our own twirling one here. Brilliant. So yeah, so this is the back side of it here. And then the one that we've just made, we're actually going to stick back to back.
Covers up the working.
So we'll take that bit off the bit that was securing the twine, and then bit of tacky glue in the middle there, and we're literally going to stick them back to back. So we're going to have that one, and I was very fortunate that they actually were in the right place. It's slightly skewy, that one, but not too much. So just give that tacky glue a second to adhere there. It just takes a second to actually tack down. And then if you actually twiddle this before you close it, and sort of, you know, like if you twiddle string, when you let it go, it unravels.
Wind it up a bit.
Yep.
So when you open it, it should
So spin. We've actually got it there now. Okay, so that's going to be our card. I've actually got, we'll just pop these on. I've got a Celebrate to go on the front. And these are all from the, have we got the stamps on with the alphabets today? They actually came, they came with 2 stamp sets, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, yes. We have got those. Yeah.
That's the one, So that's what these are from.
Wishes,
I've literally just created a couple of sentiments, one for the outside and one that's going to hide in the centre there.
Yeah, I just found those under the mounds of
I know, there's loads under
stuff
there.
that I've got on the show. Yeah, so you well, that's even better then, isn't it? Heartfelt wishes you get with some beautiful stamps in there, and then yes, you've got
and
your
then hopefully,
joyful birthday.
When we open it up there, you can see that we've got that.
That's brilliant. That's a brilliant tip. Just to give it a wind it up almost.
Yeah, just twirl it up, and then it you know, if you just leave it flat, it'll open and it'll just swing in the middle. But if you actually swing it round before you close it, because it's tightened up the twine that's in there, the cotton thread that's in there, next time when you open it, it will actually unravel itself, so you get that twirling factor. So yeah, just another way of using those lovely left fold alphabets. Yep. And as I say, I particularly brought the greys in there with the lilac, just to show, you know, that to use that neutral, the card pad with that lilac tone looks really, really nice.
Awesome. Such brilliant demos. Loads of love coming in for that one as well. And just to say, just found these as well. So as well as the numbers and the letters that you're going to get in this collection, as Jan correctly pointed out, under a mound of stuff I've got under here, you will get your heartfelt wishes as well. So it's a stamp and die collection. This one is all about beautiful butterflies, all about gorgeous flowers as well, and some wonderful sentiments in there. And then you've also got your joyful birthday. Again, as you can see from this, you've got dies, you've got beautiful cakes and balloons and what do you call them? Bunting. It's all there for you. 93 elements in total for £59 or $70. Again, lots of love coming in for that last demo. Shadai saying, what a beautiful card. Great card, says Lesha Gordon on Facebook. And Janet H on YouTube.
I know Lesha. Hi Lesha, long time no see.
Well, Lesha loved the card.
Yeah, she comes to, well, we did have a class in Doncaster before all this happened, and Lesha was one of the ladies that came to join me at the class. I've not seen them for ages, so hi, hope you're keeping okay.
Oh, that's amazing. Janet H, fantastic card. Tall Chicky 8, love the card, especially the colours. Margaret Crook on YouTube, the card is so classy, Jan. Love it. Just remembered, we've literally got about 7 or 8 minutes left. I've got that announcement to do again, haven't I, before the end of the show?
Of course, yes.
But before that, let's see some more of your pictures. We've been asking today for pictures of snow and animals in the snow where possible. We're back off to Wisconsin with Kim Edwardson. Again, that is a lot of snow, isn't it? That is a lot of snow. That's the view from her sewing room, apparently. Wow,
is that the garden?
Not a bad view, is that, is it?
They have some very big gardens, don't they?
I don't know, absolutely. Now, right now, prepare yourself for this, everybody.
Oh, cuteness overload.
Cuteness overload right here.
Now, he looks more like my Yorkie, or she does, whichever,
It's often Maryland for that. Carline's little Yorkie. I love the jacket. Love a little coat in the snow. I don't know whether the dog looks happy or slightly worried about the snow there. You didn't send the name of your dog though, unfortunately. So maybe you can quickly message that before we disappear. But that is very cute.
I love his little jacket, his little snow jacket.
Yeah, a lot of love for that. That's great. My dog Mac, right? He loves going out and about. But last year. We bought him a Christmas jumper first of all, and then we bought him like a little warm coat that he can wear during the winter. And whenever you put it on him, he loses the ability to move. It's so weird. He won't, like, if you put him anything on, it just doesn't want to walk. So that idea got tucked away very quickly indeed. But anyway. Big announcement coming in a second. Before that, let's just do a quick wrap up on what was featured on the show today, which if you have just joined us, you need to go back and watch, because honestly, the demo on this, which started at about 4:10, I would say, is literally, I think, the best demo I've seen in it. I'm putting it out there. It was brilliant because it was all step by step. It took about half an hour, but it was worth half an hour because you saw exactly how you can put this together straight from the start. It was almost like an out-of-the-box experience for this Ultimate Organizer. So if you've bought this previously and you've been a bit overwhelmed by everything that you've got, I urge you to watch that half hour because it was absolutely brilliant. And certainly it's a demo which will make it a lot easier for you to use this system if you're someone who's going, I'm not quite sure, how to put it all together. The great thing though about the Ultimate Organizer, as we've discussed, is that while it is, an amazing collection to be able to put together everything that you get within the collection, you can obviously use lots of the elements individually as well. You don't have to make a huge organizer every single time you get it out of the packet. £73 or $92 today, saving over £21 or $27. £73, $92. Now, also on the show, the hint of classiques. We saw these a little bit earlier on as well. So again, great as a standalone set are these, but also brilliant if you have already got your classiques and you're wanting that slightly lighter tint. You've got these here. So you've got your 1, 2, 3s already in all of the colors. This is the half color, if you like. So it gives you even more blendability. It gives you even more scope, I suppose, with your coloring. You're getting 36 pens in total, double-ended, of course, with your bullet nib and your chisel nib as well, and you're getting your tinted naturals, your barely brights, elegant hues and exquisite pastels, and you've also got your chic neutrals and your delicate florals as well. As we've stressed again, you can get those individually if you want to get those as your first set of classiques. Absolutely, they work fine on their own as well. £54 or $80, saving 10% on those today. Now also, you saw this just a few moments ago, your left fold alphabet collection. So of course you get the 26 letters of the alphabet with that really cool left fold design. You've got all of your numbers with the ampersand, and of course you will get those 2 stamp collections as well that we just showed you. You've got your joyful birthday and the heartfelt wishes stamp and die collections included, making up your 93 elements, which gives you all of that for £59 or $70, saving almost £16 or almost $30 off the usual price. The swash stamps that we saw briefly earlier on as well. Again, Jan featured these a little bit earlier. 53 elements in total here with that ink pad for $19.96 or $27.80. Again, that is a 20% saving even before you bring into play your club inspired discount. The embossing folders, I've not really done very much at all, but Jan's done so much on this show. I'm just thinking, I thought this was the earlier show, but we've done all of this in the last 2 hours. The embossing folders, 6 of these you're going to get, including your Gossamer Lace, the lavish leopard you've got in there as well. You've got the beautiful vintage scrolls in there, the ivy. It's a stunning collection, giving you that deeper emboss. £32 or $46, saving over 20%. And don't forget as well, as featured yesterday on the Craft House, the new collection from Sharon Callis. Phenomenal, these. They were so popular yesterday. I expect more of these have gone out of the door in the last 2 hours as well. £41 or $60 for that collection. Right, just before we go, I have got to tell you about why we're not going to be here tomorrow and Tuesday. But before that, let's just quickly go back to where we started and have a quick look at some samples of the Ultimate Organizer with Jan. As I said to you, fantastic demo. Make sure you watch it back, because I think the thing to say, and Jan, you'll reiterate this, It's a brilliant, brilliant system and a brilliant collection, but it doesn't have to be tricky to get started with it, does it?
It doesn't, no. And like I say, those that demo that I did earlier will always be accessible on our Crafters TV page. So you can, if you're stuck with it at all, you can go back, you can put it on, you can craft along with me while I'm actually explaining it. There are some others on there as well. I know our Sarah's done some work with this organiser, and I think so has Fee. So, have a look through. Just type in on go through YouTube. I just type in Crafters TV Ultimate Organiser, and it'll bring up anything on there that's applicable for you to watch back and have a look. But I just wanted to show you how different they can look depending on what colour schemes you put together. So this one is stunning, and I was just looking at it and studying it, and I think this has actually been stamped and coloured. Whoever's done this, I love it. It's actually been stamped out and then coloured in the background rather than colouring the flowers. I thought it was a piece of pattern paper to start off with, but I'm fairly certain it's been stamped. But on the white background, like I made mine. And again, we've got lots of bright colours in here. And whoever it is, I can't find a name in it to give them a shout out, but it is stunning. The same pattern with the stamp all the way through in different colours. But again, you can see these elements. Look, we've got autumn friends list, winter friends, sort of November birthdays. Again, loads of different ideas. And then just to look at it in the craft card, again, we've got the birthday one again here, just showing you some of those elements that you can stamp out. So lots and lots of different things going on. Shopping list, receipts, looking here, whatever you fancy. Important ideas, you've got your little tick boxes in the back. Brilliant.
Listen, I will say a big thank you to Jan. Honestly, what an inspirational and educational 2 hours that we've had. So Jan, hopefully we will be hooking up again very soon. I'm
back on the 23rd. Which is right before Christmas. I've got a masterclass with the Best of British, which I'm really looking forward to. And then I'm back for Creative Cravings, and we've got lots of stamping goodies on there again. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, we shall look forward to that. One thing we did need to clear up, Carlene's dog, the Yorkshire Terrier we saw with the jacket on, Tigger, and apparently he hated the snow.
Oh.
I did think he looked like he wasn't enjoying it, to be honest.
Not impressed.
Just before we go, we're not here tomorrow or Tuesday. Why, you ask? Can't tell you, but what I can tell you is it will be worth the kind of radio silence, if you like, because on Wednesday something exciting, very exciting, is going to be happening. If you need a Crafter's Companion fix in the meantime, of course, as we discussed, you can go back on YouTube, Facebook, our website, and see all of the shows that we've done recently and a lot further back. But nothing tomorrow or Tuesday, but Wednesday, you will not believe what we have got to show you. I am back with you next Saturday. Quick cheeky plug for me as well. Next Sunday, thank you to everyone who got involved in my Facebook page. I'm going to be doing a Christmas crafty quiz on my Facebook page next Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, but more about that next week. For now, have a brilliant rest of your Sunday. I can't tell you what's coming up, but listen, bear with us. Monday, Tuesday, we'll see you on Wednesday.
Very exciting.
You'll be excited.
Yep.
See ya.